Welcome, dear friends, to the story of Algeria, a land of mountains, deserts, rivers, and brave people. Today we will travel together through time from the year 1990 to today, exploring villages, cities, festivals, schools, markets, and the everyday lives of heroes and children alike. Along the way, remember to subscribe, like, and share so more people can enjoy Algeria's story with us. In 1990, Algeria was alive with dreams. Children ran across villages carrying baskets of dates and bread. Markets were bustling, full of merchants selling fruits, spices, and colorful fabrics. People danced, sang, and celebrated small joys. Algeria in 1990 was a land full of energy. In the cities, streets buzzed with people walking to work, school, and markets. Street vendors called out their prices: fresh dates, sweet oranges, spicy couscous for dinner. Children ran after rolling balls, laughing loudly, while elders sat under trees telling stories of brave heroes. In villages, life was slower, but just as lively. Families worked together on farms, planting wheat, tending to goats, and carrying water from wells. At sunset, everyone gathered to eat, singing songs passed down for generations. Politically, people hoped for change. Discussions about upcoming elections filled cafes and homes. Some people protested for fairness and transparency. Families reminded children to be cautious, but also to be hopeful. Enjoying this journey? Hit subscribe, like, and share to follow Algeria's story with us. The elections of 1991 brought hope, but also worry. Citizens campaigned in streets, villages, and towns. Posters fluttered in the wind, and people debated passionately in markets and schools. Daily life continued. Children went to school, learning math and reading by candlelight in villages without electricity. Mothers baked bread in clay ovens, and fathers worked on farms or in workshops. Festivals were quieter than usual, but songs and traditional dances kept spirits alive. Heroes of this year were ordinary people, teachers who risked walking miles to teach children, mothers who shared food with neighbors, and market sellers who helped families get affordable goods. The political tension rose, but life in villages continued. People learned how to be brave, sharing responsibilities. Markets stayed open early in the morning. Children helped parents gather vegetables, milk goats, and fetch water. In cities, electricity sometimes went off, but schools and libraries tried to stay open. Music blended sadness and hope. Young musicians played the oud, drums, and flute in quiet corners of streets. This year, communities came together like never before. Villagers helped rebuild homes damaged by storms or conflicts. Children learned traditional weaving and pottery, helping families earn extra money. In cities, people organized peaceful rallies reminding leaders of their promises. Markets were busy with colorful fabrics, fresh spices, and handmade toys. Festivals celebrated harvests, teaching children the value of family and friendship. Daily life remained resilient. Farmers worked in fields from sunrise to sunset. Children studied letters and numbers under the shade of olive trees. Mothers taught cooking and sewing, keeping traditions alive. Music festivals were small but joyful. People danced to chabi music, drums echoing in streets and courtyards. Heroes were everywhere. Young men and women volunteering to help families, teachers educating children, and merchants ensuring everyone had food. Algeria began to heal. Cities repaired roads and buildings. Schools reopened fully, teaching hundreds of children. Villages celebrated the harvest with couscous feasts, singing and dancing. Markets thrived. Merchants sold dates, almonds, spices, and freshly baked bread. Children played games in streets, learning teamwork and resilience. In schools, teachers shared stories of national heroes and ordinary people who overcame hardship. Algeria in 1996 was a land of hope and caution. Cities buzzed with life, streets were filled with pedestrians, taxis honking, and markets smelling of fresh bread, spices, and oranges. Children attended school sitting on wooden benches, learning reading, math, and the history of their heroes. Villages stayed strong and close-knit. Families worked together in fields of wheat, barley, and olives. Mothers baked bread in clay ovens, and fathers guided children on herding goats or caring for chickens. Villagers shared stories in the evening under trees, passing wisdom from one generation to another. Politically, people were cautious. Campaigns were calm but watched closely. Citizens hoped for fair elections and change, whispering their dreams of peace over steaming cups of mint tea. Life in Algeria continued, but people were learning resilience. Markets were busy with vegetables, spices, and handmade pottery. Street musicians played the oud and drums, mixing sadness with hope. Children helped parents collect firewood, fetch water, and learn traditional crafts. In cities, people discussed politics quietly in cafes and homes. Some organized protests, hoping their voices would bring fairness. Ordinary heroes appeared everywhere. Teachers walking miles to reach schools, mothers sharing food with neighbors, and merchants helping families during tough times. Villages held festivals quietly, celebrating the harvest with couscous, dates, and olives. Children danced around fires, learning traditional dances, while elders shared stories of bravery. Farms flourished, and families worked together from sunrise to sunset. In cities, the spirit of youth was alive. Students organized cultural shows, reciting poems and singing songs about hope and Algeria's heroes. Markets remained vibrant, selling vegetables, sweets, fabrics, and handmade toys. Political hope was cautious. People wanted leaders who would keep promises and improve schools, roads, and healthcare. Citizens debated quietly but firmly about the future. 1999 marked a new beginning in Algeria. A presidential election brought promises of stability and growth. Citizens gathered peacefully, discussing changes and dreams. Daily life in villages continued with courage and joy. In cities, life began to feel safer. Streets became livelier, with schools reopening fully, young musicians performing, and people gathering in cafes. Ordinary heroes emerged in small acts, shopkeepers helping the poor, teachers tutoring children after school, and farmers donating food to neighbors. As the new millennium began, Algeria was looking forward. Villages thrived with family farms, markets, and community festivals. People celebrated harvests and religious holidays, teaching children songs, dances, and recipes passed down for generations. City life also moved forward. Streets were alive with children going to school, merchants selling goods, musicians performing in squares, and neighbors helping each other. Families celebrated birthdays and weddings with joy, reminding everyone that hope can thrive even after hardship. Like if you can feel the energy of Algeria at the start of the 2000s. Comment your favorite Algerian tradition or festival. Politics focused on growth. Citizens wanted education, clean water, and safer communities. Leaders promised change, and people quietly hoped that the new era would bring prosperity. Heroes were ordinary people making extraordinary efforts to keep families safe, educate children, and protect traditions. Algeria entered the new millennium with cautious hope. Cities were bustling again. Children ran through schoolyards, learning math, reading, and stories about Algerian heroes. In villages, families worked together on farms, growing wheat, barley, olives, and vegetables. Markets were alive with smells of freshly baked bread, spices, and sweet dates. Families gathered in evenings to tell tales of bravery, kindness, and tradition. Politically, people still remembered past conflicts, but hoped for stability. Citizens quietly discussed elections, new laws, and the future of their children. Ordinary heroes were everywhere, teachers walking miles to schools, mothers helping neighbors, and farmers donating food in times of need. Political discussions became louder but peaceful. Citizens wanted leaders who could rebuild schools, improve roads, and provide electricity and water. Ordinary heroes quietly worked to ensure life went on. Shopkeepers gave credit to struggling families, teachers stayed after school to tutor children, and farmers helped neighbors during droughts. Life in Algeria was slowly improving. Villages grew closer, sharing resources and protecting their traditions. Politically, Algeria worked to stabilize. Citizens participated in local councils, discussing schools, health centers, and markets. People hoped leaders would maintain peace and focus on improving life for ordinary families. Villages celebrated traditions with joy. Families gathered for festivals, singing, dancing, and cooking together. Children learned the art of weaving baskets, making pottery, and tending fields. Schools taught lessons about Algerian history and heroes, helping children remember their roots. In cities, life was vibrant. Students organized plays and music performances. Markets were full of fruits, spices, traditional bread, and crafts. In cities, students explored arts, poetry, and music. Markets were vibrant with traders selling spices, fresh bread, vegetables, and fruits. People enjoyed traditional music, like Rai, blending old Berber melodies with modern rhythms. Ordinary heroes were everywhere. Teachers tutoring extra hours, farmers helping neighbors, and shopkeepers supporting struggling families. Politically, Algeria held local elections, with citizens hoping for leaders who would improve schools, roads, and healthcare. Ordinary heroes continued quietly, farmers sharing crops, mothers teaching children, and teachers guiding students beyond lessons. People spoke about freedom and change. In cities, youth clubs and cultural centers encouraged music, art, and poetry. Cafes and public spaces became places to share ideas, stories, and laughter. Politically, 2019 saw growing protests and peaceful demonstrations calling for change. Citizens wanted better leadership, economic opportunities, and fair elections. People from all walks of life, teachers, shopkeepers, students, farmers, participated in civic life. Cities continued with education, culture, and innovation. Schools adapted to new realities, teaching students both in classrooms and online where possible. Algeria worked on reform and adaptation, discussing economic challenges, healthcare improvements, and education. Discussions about governance, youth opportunities, and economic reforms continued. Citizens peacefully gathered to voice opinions, demonstrating patience and hope for change. Villages and cities alike kept their traditions alive. Even as the world around them shifted rapidly, cities were vibrant hubs of innovation, education, and culture. Algeria's story in 2025 reflects resilience, hope, and community. Villages, towns, and cities live together, celebrating culture, faith, and family. Music, art, food, festivals, and stories of ordinary heroes continue to shape daily life. Every child learning, every family sharing, every market bustling, tells the story of a nation that endured, adapted, and grew stronger together. And so, from 1990 to 2025, Algeria's story is one of resilience, courage, faith, and hope. From villages to cities, from schools to markets, from festivals to daily work, people kept their traditions alive while embracing change. Heroes appeared everywhere, not always on battlefields, but in schools, fields, homes, and marketplaces. Algeria today is a land of culture, faith, music, food, festivals, and learning. Children grow up knowing the lessons of history, the importance of community, and the strength of their heritage. Markets bustle, farms thrive, cities innovate, and villages preserve traditions. The journey shows that even amid challenges, political struggles, economic hardships, or global changes, the heart of a nation is its people. Their courage, hope, and unity shape a brighter future for generations to come. This is Algeria, a land of trials and triumphs, of ordinary heroes and everyday joy, of faith, culture, and resilience. From 1990 to today, the story continues, with every village, city, and family writing the next chapter together. In Algeria today, many important things are happening. The country has a president named Abdelmajid Tebboune, and he has been making decisions to help the people. One of his recent actions was approving more opportunities for Algerians who want to travel for the 2026 Hajj, a very important religious journey for Muslims. This made many families happy because going on Hajj is a special dream for many people. Recently, the president also gave a presidential pardon to a novelist named Boualem Sansal, who had been involved in a situation that caused trouble between Algeria and another country. By granting this pardon, the president helped calm the problem and brought peace back into their diplomatic relationship. Children can think of this like when two friends argue at school, but then someone steps in to help them shake hands and settle the matter. Inside the country, the government is working on important projects meant to improve everyday life for Algerians. One of these projects is the opening of a brand new medicine-making factory, where medicines will be produced to help people stay healthy. The government is also planning to build special hospitals that can take care of people with specific medical needs. These hospitals will have advanced technology and highly trained doctors. This is like upgrading a school library with brand new books and computers so students can learn better. But even with all these improvements, Algeria is still facing some tough challenges. Many groups around the world are concerned about the rights of people inside the country. Some human rights organizations say that journalists, lawyers, and activists sometimes get in trouble for speaking their minds. They say that freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of association are not always fully protected. In simple words, some people feel they cannot talk freely without fear. This is something Algeria continues to work on, like a classroom where the teacher is still learning how to make sure every child feels safe sharing their ideas. Another big challenge is corruption. This means some people use money or power in unfair ways. Algeria is also working hard to fight human trafficking, arms trafficking, and the problem of fake products in the market. These issues are like weeds growing in a beautiful garden. If they are not removed, they can stop the flowers from growing properly. When we look outside Algeria's borders, we see even more stories unfolding. The country is talking with Belarus, exploring new ways to work together in areas like defense, machines, and chemicals. However, Algeria also has disagreements with some neighboring countries. One recent issue happened with Mali, when Algeria said a drone entered their airspace without permission. Algeria brought the drone down, but Mali disagreed with the story, and this caused tension between the two countries. It's like when two kids argue about who touched whose toy. Each one believes their own version of the story, and it takes time and patience to settle things peacefully. Algeria is also experiencing difficulties with Niger, as the country has been accused of pushing migrants back toward the Niger border. This has made the situation more complicated, like when a classroom project goes wrong and everyone has to work together to fix it. While all of this is happening, Algerians continue living their everyday lives. Children wake up early to go to school. Parents go to work. Markets open with the smell of fresh bread and spices. Buses move through busy streets, and families gather every evening to share food and stories. This daily rhythm has continued through every challenge, showing how strong and hopeful the people of Algeria are. And even though there are disagreements, problems, and challenges, Algeria also has dreams of a brighter future. With new factories, new hospitals, new international partnerships, and young people full of energy and creativity, the country is trying to build a better tomorrow. And just like every child learns, grows, and becomes wiser, nations grow too, step by step, day by day. Algeria's story is not perfect, but it is real. It is filled with courage, with mistakes, with progress, and with hope. And that is what makes this country's journey meaningful. As we follow these events, we understand that nations, like people, must learn from their past, improve their present, and prepare for their future. And so, our journey through Algeria's modern events teaches us that even when life is complicated, even when problems appear, there is always a chance to grow, rebuild, and move forward. Algeria is a country of proud people, rich culture, strong history, and a spirit that keeps rising no matter what. Thank you for joining this gentle journey through Algeria's modern story. If you enjoyed learning about this beautiful nation, its challenges, its hopes, and its incredible people, then you are in the right place. This is Culture and Heritage, the home of powerful stories told in simple ways that everyone can understand. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with your friends and family. Your support helps us bring more stories from around the world, stories of courage, culture, and the heritage we all share. Until our next journey, keep learning, keep exploring, and always stay curious. Goodbye for now.